Hello KFC SuperCoaches and welcome to round 4. The teams are in, so let's run through who to buy, hold and sell. Reece Walsh is the most purchased player this week. He's had an incredible start to the season, got this try on the weekend. That was part of 65 points in the final 10 minutes against the Dragons. His base is not good, there's a bit of a worry there, but in any case, he is a really popular purchase this week and he's set for a massive price rise. So if you want to get on, it does have to be this week. Payne Haas is safe as houses for SuperCoach. He's averaging 79 points in 63 minutes. 55 of that is in base, so you cannot go wrong with Payne Haas. Josh Schuster is a guy who you can wait until next week, but in his first game of the season on the weekend, he set up this try, 3 try assists in all and a try contribution, so looked really good. As I said, you can wait until next week. He struggled a little bit with cramp on the weekend, so there were some nervous moments, so ideally you would wait until next week, but if he is your ticket to Tom Trbojevic, for example, I think you can jump on. Speaking of Tommy Turbo, he is next on our list. It's now or never with him. I think he is the best player in SuperCoach when he's fit. Plus, he's going to go up by almost 100k after this week. So get on now or forever hold your peace. Jacob Preston, one of the cheapies of the year, went up by 100k last week. Hopefully you got on before that, but if you haven't, you do need to get in Jacob Preston, who looks like he's locked in for 80 minutes or close to it on the Bulldogs' edge. Tyrell Sloan, I think, is the cheapie of the week. It may sound a little bit strange given that Josh Schuster is very popular, but Sloan is scoring tries for fun, as you can see. His base is a little bit of an issue. I wouldn't say he's a must-have cheapie, but his price will rise by about $65,000 after this week. Now for the holds. I've got James Tedesco as the first hold, which may sound a little bit counterintuitive given I've got Reece Walsh as a buy. If you're selling Tedesco, it probably is to Walsh. So it's one or the other. For me, it looks like I'm going to hold Tedesco. I think he's just a grade of SuperCoach. I know he has the buy this weekend. He generally starts slowly, so I'm hoping that from the buy onwards, he really does hit his straps. Nathan Cleary is the 7th most sold player this week. It makes no sense to me. He's one of the greats of SuperCoach, like Tedesco. Plus, he had the buy last week. If you're going to sell, you had to sell before his buy. Moving on to Adam Dewey. I've got him as a hold for now, but I am a little bit worried about that foot. He's also moved to fullback, and I'm not quite sure how that's going to play out. Will it give him more opportunity in attack, or will it stifle him? I'm not quite sure yet. I'm tempted to hold for 1 week, but it depends on info on that foot injury. William Warbrick is a popular sell. I don't quite understand it, to be honest. He hasn't made much cash yet, but he is a winger at the Storm, and the Storm are historically one of the best attacking teams in the competition. So surely there are some tries on the way for William Warbrick. Now for the sells. It is time for Egan Butcher to go, along with a whole bunch of Roosters other than James Tedesco, given that the Roosters have the bye. This is Butcher getting absolutely belted into the next postcode by Felice Kafusi, which I think really did stunt Butcher's and the Roosters' season. Tanner Boyd was a guy we bought in to make money. Unfortunately, he's lost 9k so far. So again, I think he is a guy who does have to go, as does Christian Welch, who was a mid-ranger at prop. We were hoping he'd make us a bit of money and then become a keeper. Unfortunately, he's only made $2,000. So if you can sell him, upgrade to an absolute keeper or maybe downgrade to a cheapie like Schuster. And another guy to point out while I'm here is that Ruben Cotter is out for 2 to 4 weeks. He was a sell already, but that has locked in that trade. That is it for Buy, Hold, Sell. Round 4, we'll catch you for the Game Day podcast at 11 a.m. on Thursday. See you then.